How do you make people being brutally mean to each other for 2 hours entertaining? You make them British. Duh.
Things are getting a little out of hand.
Oh, you think?
Okay, I quite literally spent yesterday after watching the original saying that I didn't think this idea worked as a comedy. Hear me out, they made it work as a comedy. Yeah, they didn't just do the prank war thing, the whole escalation prank war thing. It uses dark humor correctly, and it ticks all the boxes for being rewatchable to me despite such depressing subject material. The Roses stars Benedict Cumberbatch and Olivia Colman. Oh, I love this pairing. It also has Andy Samberg, Kate McKinnon, Tsunami, Inshudigatwa. Such an eclectic cast of charming people. Man, it's awesome. Benedict and Olivia meet, they fall in love, and they have sex, and that's all within the first 5 minutes of seeing each other. Damn. But then you fast forward 10 years, they've got a couple of kids, they're living in America. Why? But the comedy of that in itself. What a weird choice it was to have them be British but set it in America when it was so clearly filmed in the UK, I think. Yeah, anyway, they've got these kids. Olivia's stay at home. Benedict is a big shot architect. But due to a few very funny events, their roles flip, and suddenly Benedict's got to be the stay-at-home dad, adjust to this new role, while Olivia's high-flying, got a whole chain of restaurants on the go. And, I mean, it's a great idea to do that, because it is going to set you at each other's throats a little bit, trying to do the shift. Not so much that it's just shifting the dynamic of the original, being like, Benedict is the home builder, literally and figuratively. He makes their house, but also looks after the kids. But it's also doing the change in their dynamic as the relationship goes on, which would be very difficult to deal with for both of them. I think these two have such matching each other's freak energy. Like, the early scenes, like them going to the gun range and seeing all these Americans there, it was just comedy. It was just good. And I think that is a big change from the original for me, and I did not really like the original much, despite liking things about it. This one, I still feel like there's things I'm not quite vibing with, but overall, I had a much better time with it. I mean, there are some strange things. Kate McKinnon's character. I like Kate McKinnon, but what was the choice there? You know, so much of the writing of this is so good, and it feels in such a particular style. And then just the few scenes where she suddenly appears and starts flirting with Benedict Cumberbatch, and that is basically her entire role in the film, those were different. Everything, all of her lines felt like they had been ad-libbed in her own, like, particular, like, SNL comedy brand style. And that was the one thing about it, for me, that especially just felt out of place. This was a slower film than the original. It takes a long time before they just go nuts. And that made it feel like, kind of like the lengthy countdown to the atomic bomb going off in Oppenheimer. You knew it was coming, it was terrifying to witness, but it was just this slow build. It was more like a disaster film. You could tell that they were going to get to this point. There were signs of it going on throughout. And it was like the volcano in Dante's Peak, like, bop, 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 bop. Fuck. And I love that much more. The original film had like this prank war going on from, well, like halfway, and it made it feel like it was a very long, drawn out process, the finale, whereas this, sharp, fast, it just goes bang when it starts, and I really liked that about it. It was reasonably long in getting to the point then. I maybe felt like it didn't need to be quite as long as it was, but it kept me entertained while it was kind of meandering along through these different parts. And it really wanted to build the pressure cooker so far past the point that you couldn't even see the point anymore. The point was a dot to it. From the opening edit of Benedict giving middle fingers as a building collapses behind him, to Olivia calling him to convince her not to burn down her own restaurant after getting high, this is just a good time. I'm just happy to see comedy on the big screen so often this year. I don't say it often, but this is definitively better than the original for me. I think it's so charming, even though it's a dark comedy, and that doesn't really feel like it should fit, but it is just, and that is what makes it rewatchable for me. I normally do like a good dark comedy, and I didn't really like the original so much, but this fits the bill. This pairing fits the bill. The entire idea of them being British, I mean, this is just how a lot of couples here in the UK are. Not necessarily endorsing that, but saying it fits the vibe of them being together and having this electric chemistry with this, like, charge of hatred there. It feels so much like they are always just on the dividing line between love and hate. And that is exactly what you need to make this idea and this concept work. And for me, it massively did, even if I still have some minor issues with it. So I'm giving specifically the line suicidal attention-seeking wheel 3.5 stars. I am sick. I am ill. Can you hear? What is that in my voice? Like it's raspy? It's like something right there. It sounds metallic almost when I speak. That's not good. Can you hear that? That's not good. Anyway, subscribe, because I don't miss days even while sick, I hope.